Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dale Stonick, Director of Safety here at ACE Doran. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon for our Driver All Call. Joining me today is Jim Collins, our President of ACE. Jim, how are you?
Hey, Dale, good afternoon, and good afternoon, callers. And I believe this is actually not just drivers. I think this is a true all call, so agents, employees, and drivers. So
excellent.
Good afternoon, everybody.
All right. Also, Chad Leiter, Director of Operations. Chad?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining the call.
And Lauren Bailey, he's the President of Owner Operator Advisory Services. Lauren?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being on. We'll go ahead and get started. Jim has some opening comments.
Sure. Well, first and foremost, Dale, not to put you on the spot, but I think it's curious that you're the one that schedules these meetings, and today happens to be your birthday.
Man.
Yeah, so I hope everyone on the call joins me in wishing you a happy birthday. And we know you're somewhere north of 50, but we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, thank you for keeping it kind of a little ambiguous there.
Yeah.
My age is.
So I will share with everyone that I called you this morning and sang happy birthday, but there weren't 160-some people listening. So so this afternoon I'm not going to do that, but happy birthday.
Thank you.
So welcome to everyone on the call. Thank you again for calling in. As I mentioned, I think we have drivers, agents, employees. Pretty much everybody affiliated with ACE was invited. So thank you. I think we started these back in March or April, I guess, as a response to COVID. And as we've talked about before, we just think it's a good idea and a good vehicle to stay in touch with everyone. So welcome. I would also like to say, hopefully all of you and your families are safe and protected from the virus. I know, the incidents, the reports are escalating again. So hopefully that'll all calm down and get better before it gets worse. But, with that being said, just know that we think about all of you every day and your families, and we hope that you're all doing okay. Last thing I have as far as opening is just Hurricane Zeta. We were just talking about that before the call went live on the air. And I know we have a lot of owner-operators and some agents and other people in the path of that storm. Probably more on the BME or the Bennett side than the ACE side, but regardless, our thoughts and prayers go out to all those folks, and hope everybody stays safe through that storm. So we're going to change up the order here a little bit. Lauren Bailey's on with us, and those of you who are regular participants have heard Lauren before, but Lauren's actually got another appointment here in about 20 or 25 minutes, so I promised Lauren we would get him on first. So with that, Lauren, let's go to you, please.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. First thing I'll do, I'll talk about the fuel situation right now. Month to date for ACE right now, you're doing an excellent job in terms of in-network, out-of-network. You're running less than 6%, which is good. That means you're watching the fuel prices and watching where the discounts are at. We were projected this month, ACE is projected to save $156,000, and as of the report, it's $136,000. So right now you're averaging about 48, almost 49 cents per gallon every time you pull up to the pump. So that's real good. Average cost is $189.78. Like I say, your in compliance rate for in-network is excellent at 94.2%. The projections are forecast. Here's what I really think. I've been to this dance before. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. There's plenty of supply, and there's the fear of the unknown. So what you're going to see for the next 60 days is a lot of choppiness. If you follow the fuel strategies this week, you've seen partial today, fill up tomorrow, partial today. We're in that same scenario right now. Wholesale prices are down a little over 3 cents today. They're going to pop up $3.75 tomorrow. But if the market holds out, Friday you're going to get a 5-cent drop. So it's going to be this way from this point out. If the waste back catches on fire, they'll run it up. But really, there's no news in terms of production is pretty good. A lot of countries are overproducing. We have plenty of supply, but the choppiness is really going to be in really traders that do that. And my other little task that I do here is the owner operator advisory service. Then we're holding steady between 140 and 145. We're getting excellent feedback for those that are on it, and I encourage everybody on here. I think somebody said there's $131. Let me put this in context in terms of the service that Bennett is paying for you. What it would cost for you to get a financial advisor, it would cost you about $150 to $200 a month. That you get it for nothing. We do other things besides that. You've got this group of 140, and if we could get everybody on this phone call, we would be up to 270. That is a great source of information. If Jim Collins had a question about something in the fleet, I could zap it to this group and probably let him know in about 10 minutes what the feedback was. So it's really also another time for you to voice any concerns you have or ideas that you have. We've gotten some excellent ideas. If you'll go on our website, that I believe that's on the Bennett site, you'll see a guy that I've been working with for the last 11 years, Tom Cherry. That's his new truck. So, and I've been working with him on and off about a lot of issues about financing, creative financing. So we helped him on that to bridge that gap to get that truck. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But we would encourage you to go ahead and give me a call. My number is 479-790-5581. Again, that's 479-790-5581. And that's also, I handle, like I say, the fuel and also this advisory program. But the advisory program is kicking into gear. So if you do call and I don't pick up right away, don't worry about it. I will return your call. And I don't work 8 to 5. So if you've got a question on the weekends, feel free to give me a call, okay? If you've got a question 8 o'clock at night, feel free to give me a call. But we certainly appreciate everything that you do, and I am very impressed with the compliance of this group right here. Y'all are really watching it, and it's paying off. So, but thank you so much for having me, Jim, and I appreciate it.
Okay, Lauren, thank you. Just one thing real quick, and I know you've got to go. Can you give me that figure again of the savings that you mentioned? Because that just absolutely astounds me for the Ace Doran fleet in September.
Yeah, in actually, it's I sent you the wrong. It's actually October. You're projected to hit about $156,000. Okay, and I forgot to mention that really Bennett contract to date, meaning 2008, they have put back $64,414,000 back into the owner operators' pockets. Just this month overall in Bennett's owner operators, this is as of today, and we'll go well over this, but they put $946,000 in the owner operators' pockets so far. We'll go above $1 million on that tomorrow probably. So.
Yeah. Wow. Well, just so you're forewarned, I'm going to ask you that every month because it continues to just absolutely amaze me. So thank you for the great work you're doing, and it's just awesome that we're able to get those kind of savings for the fleet. So thank you so much, and good luck at your other appointment today. And I'll talk to you later today or tomorrow.
Everybody be safe out there. Thank you so much, Jim. Bye.
Thanks, Lauren.
All right. Thanks, Lauren. So Dale, I know we were going to do something a little different this month, and we had some giveaways we wanted to do.
Yes.
Do you want to get into a little bit of that?
Yeah, before we do that, though, I do just want to remind everybody to hit *3 if you have any questions or comments you have for the end of the show here. We'll take that there. And just first off, we do have, 4 or 5 giveaways for. We went ahead and, while Lauren was talking there, we went ahead and had our first drawing, and Wendell Nolan won our first with a $25 gift certificate.
We got 2 here that are $25 each for Petro, and 2 that are, I think, Comdata prepaid, whichever. So here's one of the Petros. You can put
all right, cool.
On there.
Thank you so much. So, and I do want to thank you for singing happy birthday this morning. I don't want to call it my wife, but I didn't get that from her this morning when I left, so.
You calling Jim your work wife?
Well, I don't know. He
Pretty
called,
much.
serenaded me first thing, so.
Yeah, buddy.
Was not expecting that. I appreciate some of the texts I've got that I don't look a day over 30. I wish I could say that was just like yesterday, but, you know, that's years behind me now, so.
Just a year.
A couple of quick things from the safety standpoint I just want to share with our drivers. A couple of quick tips for everyone is just slow down. Most at-fault accidents due to excessive speed. Keep your good, safe falling distance, 6 to 8 truck lengths. Watch out for leaves on the roadway after it rains that creates a slick spot. We are moving into shorter days, unfortunately, so you're going to spend more time traveling at night. Make sure all your lights are operational. We're also, at that time of the year, you need to watch out for deer, especially early morning, evening hours. Don't swerve to avoid them. If you can't come to a controlled stop, go ahead and hit them. If you're in rural parts of the U.S., watch out for tractors and combines. Make sure that there's enough space to pass them. Don't pass if you don't have that space. Frost is another issue we're going to start seeing here that's going to create slick conditions, and then fog. I'm starting to see that every morning when I come in, so it's going to limit your visibility. Some other items just for housekeeping note. Keep trucking. Rand McNally, make sure you update those applications. There was hours of service changes at the end of September. Make sure you get those updated so your device recognizes that and records accordingly. Speeding is another issue I need to address with our drivers currently. We got a second speed warning yesterday. That's the second one this month. They both took place in Indiana. I can't stress enough, you need to pay attention to the road signs and obey them. Especially this particular incident, it was on I-64. When I looked at the condition on the map, there was a sign in the left and right lane warning drivers that the speed limit was going down from 65 to 55, so we need to be on our game.
Did you say speed warnings?
Yeah, it was speed warning.
So we're getting warnings instead of citations?
Yep, but it was a roadside inspection, so we still got CSA points for that, and as we know, when you get a warning, you can't fight that. You just end up getting stuck with it. So that's why we got to do a better job to look out for those signs. Don't get caught up with the flow of traffic. We've all been out on the roadway. We know motors tend to speed, but as commercial drivers, we got to be better than that. We have more at stake than they do. And I want to talk a little bit about our accidents. The past couple months, we've seen a very favorable trend. Not seeing as many claims. We want to keep that momentum going into 21. Thank you, Chad, for knocking on wood. I know we've got a really great fleet, so let's just do what we need to do, pay attention, get out and look when needed, and keep our eye on what we need to do and focus on driving, and other items that you have to do, focus on those when you're not driving. So it'd be good to get this later part of the year turned around and get us queued up for a good 2021.
Yeah, I know we have a tradition around here of not talking about claims when they get better, because it seems like it's always bad luck to do that. But I was thinking before this call what some of the things I wanted to talk about, and when claims are bad, we're always quick to get on the drivers and tell them, we need to do better. So I think in all fairness, as much as we don't like to talk about it, the last 60 or 90 days has been considerably better than the first half of the year. So thanks to all of you, men and women on the call, for being so professional and doing what needs to be done and taking care of the freight and so forth. So thank you all for that.
Yep. And then I just wanted to continue that with, we've also seen some very good favorable trends in our roadside inspections. Keith just mentioned that this morning to me. He's going to report this out on the board report. But the Wynn government side of the house, this last 30 days, they've had a 79% clean inspection rate. It's down a little bit from last month, which I think they were almost at 90. Still very respectable. And general freight is at 81%. So that's still great work. We want to keep that going. It's good to see that. So, definitely let's keep those trends going. And we pay out for clean inspections, so let's, keep that money flowing that way. So, That is all I had, so just remind everyone, *3 if you have a comment or a question. We'll go ahead and make another drawing, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and draw another name here. All right, thank you, Pat. Looks like Michael Brzezinski. Another petrol card, Jim?
Michael Brzezinski. There you go. Oh,
Thank you.
sorry about
All right, Mike, we will get that mailed out to you also. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Chad.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dale, thank you. I'm going to switch it up a little bit from what I've done in the past and hit on some operational things that have came up over the last 30 days that has impacted our drivers, our agents, operations, and company terminals. And that's our 90-day maintenance reports that we're required to do every quarter. So I think there's, just talking to a few drivers that had issues with this over the last 2 weeks, it is imperative, Dale, and you can probably speak a little bit better to it than what I can, but it's imperative when those 90-day maintenance forms need to be turned in, when they open up towards the end of the quarter, that we get them registered in Driver's IG, as it's a smooth transition if they're uploaded into Driver's IG. And if you need assistance with that, you can speak to Pat or Alexander here, and they can walk you through that process, because it's a seamless transition when you do it within the timeline that is provided by Dale and his team. And Dale, I believe once it opens up, we have 14 days, right, to get it in to Driver's IG?
Yep.
So within those 14 days, it'll lead into the next quarter. But we had over 20 drivers that did not turn in their third quarter maintenance reports, and it just created a lot of havoc with agents, company terminals, and then after hours where guys couldn't get fuel advances, they couldn't be assigned to their freight. So if you need assistance on how to upload those, your maintenance forms and Driver's IG, don't hesitate to call Dale, myself, and we can get you into contact, because the last thing we want is that to create you from being able to get a fuel advance after hours, not being able to be assigned to a load after hours, and then everybody just is on edge. So that's one thing I wanted to touch on from an operational perspective. Also, we're as we enter the fourth quarter here, there's several opportunities that are out there in terms of power only. We also have agents that have projects going on, company stores that need equipment. So if you're not hitting those revenue numbers that you would like to hit, please reach out to myself or anybody in operations. We'd be more than happy to help you get back to those revenue levels that you were at pre-COVID. In terms of what the industry is seeing for the month of October, we've started to see the load-to-truck ratio dip. The first week of October, it was 45 to 1. Second week, 38 to 1. Last week, it was 37 to 1, and then this week, it was 33 to 1. So starting to see a downward trend. That's the first time we've seen that over the last probably 60 days. So don't know if that's a sign of, it's completely opposite of what I'm seeing in the Ace Doran Bennett system, is there's a lot of opportunities out there for our guys. Then something new that I'm going to do this week is recognize, this month, is recognize our top revenue producers and kind of what they're tied to. And I've done that just a general number. So it's van, it's power only, it's general freight, and it's just a random draw here as who I'm recognizing. So in the general freight and heavy haul side, Chris Childress is one of those top revenue producers. He's doing heavy haul work for one of our agents, Stephen Hawk. So Stephen, thank you for providing those opportunities. Brett Taylor is another one. Brett runs for Bill Hogue in our A&H terminal. So Bill, thank you. Chris Connor, another one in the general freight and heavy haul. Chris does work for several of our company terminals and also runs some heavy haul for some Bennett agents. So Chris, thank you. And then lastly, in that general freight and heavy haul, I've got Levi J. Miller. So Levi runs for Coral out of our Heath, Ohio terminal. running out to the West Coast and back. So thank you, General Freight and Heavy Haul drivers. Next, I would like to recognize some of our top earners in September on the van and power only side. Shirley Carr, who runs for Brian and Agent 787, also with the assist by our Morton terminal there. Roman and Samantha Roman, that's a van. They're led out of Morton, Illinois, Troy and Chuck there. Justin Anderson does all power only for our 756 terminal and now 796 with UPS and FedEx. And then Garland Woodford is the other power only representative that also does FedEx and UPS. And then lastly, John Gibson. John Gibson is also doing some power only, Intra, Ohio, running for 756 as well. So all those drivers and all drivers that have fought through this crazy year, we greatly appreciate everything that you're doing. If there's any assistance that we can provide you operationally, don't hesitate to give me a call or anyone in operations or anyone here if it's in regards to safety, your 90-day maintenance, getting that done. That's very, very important. And keep doing what you're doing, driving safe, being claim-free. You guys are some of the best in the business, so thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Patrick went ahead and handed me another name for our next drawing. Donald Hedges is our winner, and this was a ComData.
ComData, $25.
So we will get that out to Don. Thank you. So let's just a reminder, *3 to anyone who has a question or comment. We'll be finishing up shortly here.
I've got a couple other things.
All right.
Again, can we walk through that monthly maintenance report thing? Because I know that the other week, that was just a complete pain in the neck. So at the end of every quarter, the drivers have like the first 14 days of the following quarter to get us those.
Yeah, at the end of the last week of the quarter, you can start turning your quarterly maintenance in.
Mm-hmm.
The system opens up by like 5 days to the end of that month, and then they can start turning it in, as Chad said, up to 14 days after the new quarter started. Texts start going out that last week of the month to remind drivers. I would suggest that when they get the first one, go ahead and get on top of it right away. We usually see a good batch of people turning it in. Then there's a little bit of a low, and then I think another text comes out from our system, and then you kind of see it peaking there, and then it just starts, fading out towards the end there.
I know we have some agents and company store managers on the phone. I would also encourage you, if you've got domiciled equipment out of your agency or your terminal, it might be a good idea for you to check with the safety department, maybe the very first of the month or something, and make sure all of your trucks are in compliance. Because I think, at the end of the day, if they're not and they can't be dispatched or they can't get money, it not only hurts the driver, it's going to hurt you, and it creates, just kind of a storm. So I would encourage everyone to, at the beginning of the quarter, try to remember that and make sure everybody's in compliance.
Yeah, with those who use the TMS software, under the vehicle tab, there's a section in there. If you look down, I can't remember what it says, Pat, but it says like
Last maintenance.
Last maintenance, thank you. It will show you the last quarter completed. So for the third quarter, it should read September, and then the drivers had turned that in. Currently, we're working on an upgrade where it also shows in the trailer tab, so that way both pieces of equipment have been turned in.
Nice. One other thing I wanted to mention, you mentioned Levi J. earlier. Levi A. Miller retired from Ace Doran a couple of weeks ago, and Levi started with Ace in August of 2003. So he was here about 17 years and just a fantastic gentleman, tremendous owner-operator, a real professional, and we'll miss Levi, and we appreciate everything he has done for Ace through the years. I guess the good news is he sold his tractor and trailer to Bill Hogue in Cleveland, so we're going to retain the equipment. But Levi, in case you're listening, God bless you. Thanks for all your work, and have a happy retirement. A couple other things real quick, and Dale, I'm going to ask you to comment on one of these, but just a quick business update. Our government division, talked to Doug earlier, they're doing real well, running strong, continue to be strong the rest of the year, so those trucks should continue to have opportunities. The wind business, on the other hand, is considerably slower than normal. Unfortunately, the last I know from Tony and from General Electric, we think that's going to be the case the rest of this calendar year. So wind's going to slow down, or has slowed down considerably, I guess I would say. We'll circle back to that in a minute because I want you to talk about those upcoming meetings. Just to finish by division, our van group is doing very well. I think they're up to, 50 or 55 trucks now?
54.
54. So we continue to see growth there. Great job by the team up at 69 of coordinating all that. General freight, as Chad mentioned, I think there's still plenty of opportunities out there for those that are looking. Steel and aluminum is very strong. We've mentioned A&H a couple times on this call. Owensboro, Carrollton, pretty much anybody that's in the steel and aluminum business is very busy right now. And then lastly, I think, Chad, you mentioned our power only, predominantly through 756 with FedEx and UPS opportunities. Very busy there and expect to be very busy the rest of the year. So there's plenty to do out there, and thank you all for everything you are doing. So Dale, can you maybe address the wind drivers for just a minute? Talk about these meetings we've got coming up in the remainder of the year, please.
Yes, no problem, Jim. There's been some changes to the way GE wants some of the procedural things done. I know it's been going on for the last couple of months. They're looking at a lockout, tagout. There's been some write-ups in their process plans regarding that. So we've come to the conclusion that it would be a good gesture, or just good business to get out in front of all of our wind drivers and go over these so we understand what the customer is expecting of us, and make sure when they're asking our drivers of these changes, they understand it, they're able to produce documents that are being requested of them. So went ahead and we're scheduling some in-person meetings. Right now we are looking at Catoosa, Oklahoma on November 8th, and then on the 9th we'll be down at Trinity, Texas. They're going to be in the afternoons here. I'm just formalizing the exact times on those. After that, I'm looking to get to Wisconsin and Iowa. I'm still waiting for a couple of places to call me back so I can get room scheduled. I'm a little surprised how casual some of these places are getting back to you. You think they jump all over that, but
yeah.
I'm definitely not. But as soon as I get those lined up, I'll get those booked, and the drivers who live in those areas will start reaching out to them so we can get everyone covered. And
but our goal is we would like to see every single driver 100% in person before the end of the year.
That is correct. That's a mighty task, and we're aiming to do that.
Okay. So more to follow on that, but if you're in the wind division, please, if you don't hear from Dale, check with Tony, check with Steve, check with Dale, but we want to make sure that we get you to one of these meetings. We're having some new MPP booklets printed, and I think those went out this morning actually to get printed. Yep. And we really need to see all of you in person between now and the end of the year. So just know that that's coming.
Yeah. So I've already had a few of them call me. Yes, I'll bring goods and other things. So
maybe they'll bring you a birthday present.
Yeah. I was just hoping they're happy to see me, but evidently it's the things I bring that they look forward to. But that's good anyway. So Pat just handed me another name here for our final $25 com data card, and Larry Price.
Larry Price.
We love Larry. So, very excited, Larry. We'll get that sent out to you. So,
I got one more if you want me to.
Oh yeah, if you want to, I'll just say *3. No one is in the queue. If you want to add a comment, question, or heckle us, now's your opportunity.
Okay, the last thing I wanted to let everyone know about today is the dash cameras. I think some of you are aware of this, but I can't remember if I talked about this on the call last month or not, but we have made a change effective January 1st of 2021 for our safety bonus program. It now will be necessary for you to have a cloud-based dash camera in the truck in order to qualify for your first quarter 2021 safety bonus. So I know for many of you, that ranges anywhere from a few $100s to, you know, considerably more than that. So none of the other requirements have changed. Just to run through those, you must be active at the end of the quarter to qualify. 0 accidents and cargo claims, 0 CSA points. You must attend 1 safety meeting each quarter. Online, I think, is kind of the way these days for that. $15,000 minimum in line haul revenue per quarter. No workman's comp or OC Act claims. And now we've added to that dash camera capable of cloud-based video. So the good news on that is we already have 280 trucks are already equipped with cloud-based cameras. So those guys are all good to go. There's another 80 who currently have SD type cameras. Pat, I learned SD stands for secured data, which I thought it had something to do with SIM card, but it's secured data. So there's 80 guys there that don't have an issue with having a camera. We just have to get them changed out from the SD type to the cloud-based type. So we're a long way down the road. We've got a good percentage of the fleet already with cameras, but I wanted to let you know that that is a requirement going into next year. So if you haven't heard from Dale, Jason, Pat, or Alexander on a camera, please get with us so we can get that taken care of here in November or December and have you good to go by the first of the year.
So just to let the drivers know, the wind drivers, my goal too is to bring some of those cameras with me when I go out to see you here in November and December, since there's a good opportunity to take care of that also.
Okay.
So, all right. It looks like we do have a caller that's joining us. Will, how are you?
I'm fine. How y'all doing? Thank you for
doing great
for the drivers. The reason I'm calling is I've been listening. I've been in a traffic accident. I guess it's now moving. But anyway, the reason I'm calling, y'all mentioned the dash cams, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a pretty new owner operator to Ace Doran and everything. And they sent me a camera that hooks into my Keep Trucking little box, you know, that goes with the log system from safety. And is that the camera I needed to have? Am I good to go?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. As long as you have it plugged in, you're operational.
Okay, so it's plugged into the box, so I don't know if it's working or not. I guess I haven't had anybody call me and tell me I did anything wrong. So I guess it's good. It's working and everything. I've just plugged it up. Can safety tell me if it's working?
Yeah, we'll see if Alexander looks like he's trying to sign on now, but typically we do get a note if it's been disconnected for some reason. It'll send an alert to us, and then someone reaches out to you and asks if you know it's been disconnected and can you please reconnect it, because obviously if it's not working, it's no good to anybody.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was just kind of wondering. Like I said, I'm new to the company, and I kind of hired in when the COVID hit, and I had to do it on my tablet at home instead of coming to the facility and doing it. So I kind of had to learn. Everybody did a great job, but it was like a little bit different learning process and a little harder to try to do something over a tablet, you know, than being directly put in a room with y'all and y'all explain to us how everything worked. So I'm still trying to learn everything. But I guess I do everything pretty good. I haven't heard no complaints from anybody.
I just got confirmation from Alex that it is hooked up and working. So the only other thing I see from time to time, sometimes our operators will put the camera on the sideways or upside down, and it gets frustrating.
Yeah, that was another thing. I kind of wondered if mine was sitting in a good spot, you know.
Alex just showed me he just requested a video that's showing that it's upside down. So if you could take the camera and spin it 180. That way it makes it a little easier to see what happened.
Just so everybody's clear, though, Dale, can we talk about Will's cost? He was paying $10 a week for the ELD box, right?
Correct.
So the camera that we sent him, there's no additional fee for the camera, nor is there any increase in that $10 a week fee, correct?
That is right. So that cost is for the data services that we are incurring from the Keep Trucking, so that's the data for the logs. I don't think there's, whatever it costs a little bit for the camera, but that's what they're charging us to transfer it to get it to us. So.
But I think I've heard there's some misconception about that, where people think if they're paying $10 a week right now for the ELD box, then there's going to be an additional $10 a week for the camera that goes with that box. And in the case of Keep Trucking, that is not the case.
Nope, it's that one cost that provides both services.
Okay.
Now, the trucks that have, who've been traditionally paper logs, that we're asking them to go onto that Samsara, this will be the first time they're exposed to that weekly cost.
And I think the last I heard about that is going to be $7 a week, I think. So $28 starting when?
January 1st.
January 1st. So that will be an additional cost for the drivers that up till now have not been on ELDs.
Correct.
$7 a week.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So we have another caller, Darren.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Darren.
Hi, guys.
Yes, how are
I have
you?
one question and one comment. I'm just fine, thanks. My comment, I'll go question first. I'm interested in the power-only option, if it's, profitable, but I don't know who or how to get in contact with someone for that. So if I can get an email or a text or something, that's something I would definitely be interested in.
Hey, Darren, I'll give you a call. I've got your truck number pulled up here. I'll give you a call after the call here, and we can. I'll go over all the details with you. This is Chad.
Thank you very much, Chad. Appreciate it, Chad. My comment is, I just want to say to you guys, I'm tickled pink to be a part of this organization. I've had a lot of jobs in my life. I spent 19 years in the military, and I've never seen transparency and communication like this. So I don't know if you hear from anyone else, but I absolutely love it. I love the Wednesday devotional with the preacher, and so
Pastor Dewberry.
just hearing it from a driver, it's awesome to me, and I've never seen nothing like it and anywhere else in all my experience. So it's very much appreciated, and I just wanted to leave that comment.
Darren, that's really kind of you to make that comment. Thank you so much, and we're really glad to hear that you feel that way. So that's awesome. Thank you.
I definitely appreciate that. I know typically it's the negative stuff that you tend to deal with, but it's nice to get positive feedback.
That is.
That's Darren. We greatly appreciate that comment, and I think it too goes to the group that because just so everybody on the call is aware, Darren has been with us a little over a month. He's part of the van division, new to us. So I'll give Jeff Crowley, Chuck Guyman, and Troy Pleasance some kudos there too, because that's probably a majority of the guys that you're dealing with. So Darren, welcome aboard, and I'll be in touch.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, Darren. You too.
Thanks. We have a new caller. Well, I don't know if he's new, returnee, Aldrin. Aldrin, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great.
Hey, Al.
What's going on, Al?
Hey, guys. Well, hey, two things. One is happy birthday, Dale.
Thank you.
The other thing is I've heard from a lot of guys about the camera subject I hear you guys talking about. And a lot of these guys are scared to put them in because they're afraid that that it's got a microphone and that you're listening to them talk. And the other thing is they're saying that the camera is pointing back into the cab. So maybe you guys want to clarify how that works or what that's all about to kind of do away with any kind of doubt that somebody might have about putting a camera in their truck.
Right. Thanks for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah, thanks, Al.
Yeah, the camera is only forward facing. The lens, if it's pointing back at the drivers, then it's installed incorrectly, so it needs to be facing outward. And as far as there is no microphone, I can pretty much guarantee I don't want to listen to what goes on to any of that stuff. And not to mention, if you record, audio, all that stuff, obviously if there's an accident, opposing attorneys can get to it. So we just assume limit what's available in those regards. So there's no audio. I can only imagine some of the accidents that I've seen what's coming out of people's mouths.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even think it has to be an accident, just some
Close
of the
calls.
stuff the close calls that our drivers see out there too. And Alexander was just telling me that we can only pull in 1 minute increments. Is that right, Alexander?
Yeah, that's correct.
So, and I know Dale and his team does not have the time or staff to be monitoring these dash cam videos, incidents on a minute by minute basis. So Dale, can you let the driving force know, and everyone on the call for that matter, what we do review and what we are notified of, I guess.
Yeah. So on the Keep Trucking, we get alerts when there's hard brakes. So for the most part, when those come across, I get an email alert that's saying this truck had a hard brake. It gives me a link to the video. It's usually about a 20-second video is all it is. And for the most part, our drivers are coming up to an intersection and the light's going from green to yellow and they're having to hit their brakes to avoid going through it. So, I mean, I'm fine with that. I'd rather not go through an intersection on a yellow as opposed to stopping in front of that. So that's fine. Occasionally you might see if someone's tailgating, they're falling too close, braking. There's a little bit of technology behind that, but I don't see a lot of that at all. The one thing I do want to just caution our drivers about, I've seen a few of them where they'll hit a hard brake and then just pull over to the side of the road for some reason. If it's not an emergency, I don't really want us pulling onto their shoulder because my concern is, us getting back on the interstate. If it's not totally clear, we could get rear-ended. So if we have to pull over for some reason other than an emergency, take the off-ramp and then go to the other side on-ramp if you have to look at your load securement. So, because we did have one of our guys, his camera caught a video where there was I won't say the other carrier's name, but their driver was on their shoulder, pulled out in front of us, and we had to hit the brakes hard from rear-ending him.
Can I have 3 guesses? No, I'm just kidding.
Is it a big star? And the first letter is an L?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But Al, thanks for bringing that up, and just to reiterate,
Hey, no
this is
problem.
Jim.
I'm all for the camera. I'm 100% for it. But I've heard people talk about that they didn't want to put it in their truck because of that. And that's why I was calling in, just to let you guys clarify to them what it's all about and how it actually works.
Yeah,
that way
thank
they're
you.
hearing
There
it
is-
directly from you.
Correct. There is no microphone, so that's not even a possibility. It faces only outward, so us inward viewing toward the cab is not a possibility. And we just don't have the time or frankly the interest. What are we at, 450 trucks right now, 445, whatever it is, to sit there and review all those videos all day, every day to see if we can catch somebody doing something wrong. That's really not what it's about. So thanks for bringing it up, Al. We appreciate that.
Yes,
I mean, that gets the real
you
purpose.
guys keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Al.
I mean, the real purpose of that obviously is to help mitigate accidents with other motorists who are pulling into us and stuff like that. It has been proven time and time again how critical it is for us to have that technology. So, plus, the time you get a driver who claims that someone cut him off, we got the video to show that now. So it's definitely a benefit. We are getting a very chatty bunch right now. We got a couple more callers coming in, so let's go ahead and go with James. Jim, are you there?
Do you hear me?
Yes, there you are.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is JW. Dale, happy birthday, by the way. You'll get
Thank you.
puberty someday.
I can tell you that's long in my rearview mirror.
Well, no, eventually you start going through it the other direction.
Yeah.
On the camera, on the Keep Trucking, when I first got my Keep Trucking, I got it quite a long time ago, and they had a thing in the settings where you could actually take a test picture and see it on your phone so you can align your camera properly and everything, and that's disappeared out of the app. Could somebody talk to Keep Trucking and see if maybe we could get that utility back in there where we could actually take a test and see what our camera's doing?
Okay. Alex, do you know?
So typically with that, when it's not showing you the test picture, you only really see that anymore when your camera's unplugged or it's not working. So it's still there. We still use it. So there might be something going on with your situation I can look into. But you would typically just hit your current vehicle on the top right, and then there's a cogwheel down in the middle to check your dash camera and take a picture from there. I could take a look at yours, though.
Okay, I couldn't find it in the app anymore, so I thought it'd been removed.
Yeah. I'll get back to you after the call and kind of see what's going on there for you. Yeah, can you be sure and call him back? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Dale to call me back on something too.
Oh,
don't forget, Dale.
Part of that birthday, JW, he's forgotten about it, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's old age now.
Well, he was getting ready for the call when I called in on that, so they said they'd give him a message.
Oh, okay. Prior to the call.
But I don't want to bother his birthday party, so I'll wait.
All righty. I appreciate it. We'll get back to you, all right?
Thanks, JW.
All right. Looks like we got a few more callers. Looks like Joel, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. The last guy just covered what I was going to say, so happy birthday, Dale. And I was going to mention that check for your camera, but you got to be parked and go on forms or whatever and find that little cogwheel.
That's good to know. It sounds like we got some drivers who've done this before and know what they're doing. So.
Yeah, because that's a good thing to have, that test feature.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's just, well, that way you can tell if your camera's adjusted crooked and stuff also, but I've been here a little over a year, and I actually had Keep Trucking call me one day and ask why my camera was unplugged when in reality it broke, and it just quit, and Jason had to send me a new one.
Oh, okay.
But I know there is that spot in there that, you know, you can check it with your test picture, and then that way you know it's working.
That's good. So if any other drivers on the call are not clear how to get to that test feature, please give us a call and talk to probably Alexander, Pat, or Jason, and they can walk you through that.
Yeah. But it's critical that we have it pointing in the right position, because if it's upside down, I mean, you can still see it, but it's hard to figure out, or occasionally I will see where the camera's tilted too high up in the air and you don't see hardly any of the roadway.
So if they do that testing, they can actually see the same view that we have.
Yep.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Right.
Thanks, Joel, for calling
about
that.
All right, no problem. That's all for me. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, see you, sir.
All right, Violet. Not like the first time I talked to her today. How are you, Violet?
I'm doing good. You didn't tell me it was your birthday.
That was on a need-to-know basis.
Oh, I see. Good thing. My Keep Trucking cogwheel, for my test picture, like you know, I had a new windshield put in. I wanted to recheck it, and I can't find it. And I've updated my app. So obviously it's not just me that's having a problem with it. And I went through and I tried finding it because I talked to Alexander about it. Well, he got a hold of me, and I was driving at the time, but he told me what I had to do, and I forgot to touch base back with him. Same thing. I can't find. It's gone.
Alex can walk you through it, but I do know yours is set right because I went and pulled all those videos you were asking for when we talked earlier today. They're starting to come back through, so I'll look at them when we're done with this call. Go ahead, Alex.
If you want, I can kind of give you a quick
how to. So when you open the app, for anybody who's really wanting to look at it, if everything's good and running, what you really got to do is open up the Keep Trucking app, and on the top right, you should see your current vehicle. Just click on that, and then you should see a kind of a gear icon next to Vehicle Diagnostics. When you do that, you should be able to hit Get Test Image, and that's how you do it. So there's about 3 buttons to get there. So again, current vehicle, then click the gear icon, then test image. That's how you would do it.
Okay, thank you, Alex.
Yes, sir. Cool. All right, did you have anything else, Violet?
No.
All right. Have a good day.
Appreciate you,
Hey.
Violet. Stay safe.
See you,
All right,
Violet.
we'll do.
All right. We have another caller. Aaron, how are you?
Good, you? Happy birthday.
Hey, what's up? Thank you.
Quick question. I'm getting ready to install my new camera, but do I ship the old one back to Jason, or what do we do with those? Because I have the card, the old style card camera or whatever.
Oh, old style card. Yeah, we'll just give it to Bill there, and at some point we'll come and grab those.
Okay.
So what's the
For the Katie link.
Katie links?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll.
So we don't need those back, or not in any hurry, or
Yeah,
what?
we're not in a hurry for those. That's.
You want them back at all?
Okay, I just didn't know if you guys back charged us or whatever.
No.
Okay. And also, I know you guys talked about the health insurance. It's been quite a while. I didn't know if anything produced about that.
In regards to UTBA, Aaron, this is Chad. You just want info from on UTBA?
Just, I guess the health insurance, like I think it was like it was going to be offered for all the drivers.
Yeah, so I'll give you a call because you'll have to go direct to UTBA now and set that up. But it is it is still an option. So I'll give you a call this afternoon, and we can I can get you in touch with everyone.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron.
All right. Well, that is it as far as the number of calls. I appreciate everybody calling in. Wishing me happy birthday. Appreciate your thought. Just want to thank everyone. We had a great turnout today. I appreciate everyone calling in. A good turnout for us, definitely. I know some of the other divisions have started talking about call-in fatigue, but, great support here at ACE.
Yep. And just want to remind everybody, lastly, make sure to go vote next Tuesday if you haven't done that already. Let your voice be heard. Interesting year, so make sure you go vote. But thank you all. As Dale said, I think we had 140-some callers on today, and that's really awesome. So thanks to everybody in the ACE community for your interest and your support, and just what a great group you are. Employees, drivers, agents, we've got a hell of a group, and just thank you all so much for everything.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.